taste of your feet, naked and exposed. I present my flesh as it was made, with no muscle definition. I present my scraggly beard in all of its patchiness, and I say unto you, I won't even make my hair. Know that thy divine blessing shan't be squandered, and each bite shall be more bountiful than the last. Amen, and let the hating begin.
Everybody was going surfing across the whole USA. But not you, my Bruce, sit down. We got something to talk about. I try my damnedest on this channel to be as transparent as I possibly can be. And I want to reiterate the fact that I am a hater. First and foremost in my heart, at all times, I'm hating. And I use this channel as a vehicle to express that hate in a comedic way so it doesn't come across as off-putting. There's a huge difference, for example, of the guy who's being a jerk towards the leukemia kid in order to make you laugh than there is to the guy who's just being a jerk to the leukemia kid in general. One's a little bit more palatable. However, on rare occasions, like today, I'm pretty much fully justified in taking a cuck in your mouth and calling it peppermint candy. As the pair of subjects that are involved in today's video are two notoriously hated men, Logan Paul and a Mr. Dylan Dennis. There's not a single part of me that doubts that you don't know who the Paul brothers are. It's Logan, the face of a sports drink company who's en route to be a billionaire, and his brother who, try as he might, just can't seem to get out of his shadow, even though they're both equally suck dick. And not in the fun way, I mean it's a real teethy one. But you may be less inclined to know who Dylan Dennis is, because I had no idea who he was until I was scrolling through Twitter and found out he was queued up to fight Logan Paul in an expedition boxing match. Add that to another thing I don't know much about, influencer boxing, because I'm just going to be straight with you guys, I think boxing as a whole is a snooze fest of a sport. Oh, you disagree? Oh, I'm sorry. How do points work? How can you tell when someone's winning a fight? I can't. Every punch looks soft on camera until they slow-mo it down and do it up close. The only time I know something's actually happened is someone falls to the ground. Anywho, Mr. Dennis is a former retired UFC fighter, and to say that he's controversial wouldn't do justice to the word. In UFC 229, for example, Dennis was a corner member of Conor McGregor's team. After Conor was choked out by Khabib, he went straight for Dennis's throat because apparently Dennis was taunting and mocking him. He was arrested in New Jersey on September 18th, 2021 after attempting to fight a bouncer outside of a nightclub. He's made accusations against Jake Shields, a genuinely liked and reputable UFC fighter, offering him PEDs, otherwise known as performance-enhancing drugs, or aka steroids. In UFC 268, he got removed from the building entirely after an altercation with an MMA manager by the name of Ali. Hilariously enough, he got slapped by Ali as he was going. He's a known cryptocurrency scam artist, at least they have it in common, and is, as of right now, facing a lawsuit by Logan Paul's girlfriend. More on that later. It's probably worth mentioning, you gotta give credit where credit's due. Although he didn't manage to get many UFC bouts, obviously because of his controversial nature, he was a semi-successful fighter in other circuits. Across all competitions, as it stands, he currently has 7 wins to 4 losses. Very much worth noting that record will not translate over very well to a boxing career, as mixed martial arts and boxing are two different focuses in its entirety. How good of a boxer is he? I couldn't say just yet, because I'm not sure he has boxed yet, because apparently some months ago, he was set to fight KSI, yes, that KSI, but pulled out in the last minute, forcing KSI to find a different opponent. Another thing that's also worth noting is KSI was on record saying that he would never have Dylan Dennis participate in an event again that he hosted or was a part of.
Did everything, said he was gonna destroy me, beat me up, dash coffee in my face, pissed me off to the highest degree, and then just peaced out and said, nah, actually, I don't want to fight you. I'm scared. And yeah, it's just disappointing. It's disgraceful. He's the scum of the earth, man. And I don't think he should never enter any combat sports ever again.
But apparently in this event coming up, KSI is facing Tommy Fury, and the undercard is Dylan Dennis versus Logan Paul. It's scrambled my brain too, dude. I don't know. Oh, and another thing that's worth noting, please for the love of God avoid these press conferences as much as you can. It has been some years since I've had to run out of the room because of cringe, but oh my God, all of these people are atrocious at banter.
Hey, you know I got props. I see Dylan got props. Hey, bro, that's creative. You come up with that.
Oh no, he's creative.
Was that the surprise that you told me about?
No, I got more. Don't worry.
Oh, that's good.
Oh no, fuck this.
Despite
the fact that neither one of these men should be anywhere near a microphone because they absolutely radiate the air with their lameness, it really feels like a poison cloud choking you. They are somewhat obligated to do so. Boxing and combat sports in general pretty much rely on drama to keep itself afloat. What is more primal than two human beings duking it out? Two human beings duking it out who hate paid each other. You, for example, aren't going to spend £50 on a pay-per-view buyback if the two fighters are going to tongue kiss each other before they walk into the ring. You want to see the venom pouring out the sides of their lips. Although a lot of it is performative, as it's kind of hard to hate the guy who's making you rich and vice versa, sometimes that venom will spill out into genuine consequence, and sometimes one of those people will take it too far. In this case, that being Dennis, hence the lawsuit from Logan Paul's fiance. As part of the build-up, ammunition, and banter that Dennis was using to get in Logan's head, he was heavily fixated on Mr. Paul's fiance. As unbeknownst to the world, or even Logan it seems, his fiance has been in quite a few relationships. She's slept around, dude. I can't sugarcoat the word. What do you want me to say? Now, as a male feminist, that doesn't bother me, but I could see how it would bother the woman who's basically being called a slut, to the point of excess. The way he was sharing this information he obtained was going into the digital public square, that is Twitter, and non-stop posting pictures of Logan Paul's fiance out in the town with different men. Hell, according to Philip DeFranco, who covered this story this morning, one of his underlings pointed out the fact that in one day alone, Dylan had posted 20 separate things about Logan's fiance. It apparently has gotten so bad that, according to Nino, she had to go directly to the boxing event managers, who are putting the whole fight up and paying their contracts, in order to get him to stop posting about her. An effort that seemingly hasn't worked. Nina, being fed up of being harassed endlessly in a fight that she's not involved in at all, is now suing Dylan Dennis for direct harassment at a valuation of $150K per post, meaning that every single time he has mentioned her in an unflattering way or implicated that she's promiscuous, he owes that money. And if, for example, the judge does rule in Nina's favor, for those 20 posts alone, Dylan owes her $3 million. Just keep in mind, he is only getting paid out $1 million for this fight, and that's before taxes and before he pays his camp, which more than likely will take exactly half, so he's probably left with $500K. On top of the fact that he has to defend himself from this harassment campaign, which is going to be very expensive due to lawyers, and the fact that he's fighting a soon-to-be wife of a literal near-billionaire, Dylan won't exactly be flush for cash anyway, because this is his first official boxing match, and mixed martial arts fighters get paid peanuts, especially ones who have only ever done 2 UFC bouts, in which even on a main card, which he was, you only get paid about $150K to $250K before taxes and before he paid his camp. Politely put, if Dylan even loses half of these harassment posts, all of the fight money that he's earned in this upcoming bout will dissipate completely and will almost certainly go in debt. Not to mention the fact that he's taken on a heavy reputation damage, just like he did with the UFC, and more than likely won't get targeted for another fight for a good long time. And that's even if it ever happens again. Should you feel bad for Dylan in, like, any sense? No, dude, he's brought this entire situation on himself. And if he gets screwed as a result, that's his own fault. From everything we discussed, it's clearly a pattern of behavior throughout his entire life, where he likes to chew the golden hand that's reaching down on him. This dude has been incredibly lucky to be put into the positions that he's been put into, but his own ego keeps making him squander it. I mean, for Christ's sakes, dude, honestly, it's not like he was starved for insults to begin with. It's Logan f***ing Paul. He is one of the worst people in the world. There's a million reasons to hate on the guy, but you had to go for the soft underbelly that had nothing to do with it and slice it open to let the guts pour out. Think about it in this way, right? This is just a wild example of something that seems similar. Two dudes are arguing in the street. They stood face to face to one another. They're getting right confrontational. It's about to come to blows. It's about to go down. Just as these two are griping their teeth against it, man one's wife walks up next to them and asks them, "Hey, what's going on?" Man two then turns around and swings at her, knocking her flat unconscious for no reason. And then that man who knocked that woman unconscious has the cheek and the gall to say he's better than man one, even though man one is objectively, he sucks. I hate Logan Paul, I really do. I don't like the guy, but when he pisses, it's gold, so you should get on your knees and lap it up. His name, his reputation is what prints money and what keeps you in the limelight. Without it, you would just be Dylan Dennis, someone we don't know. In closing, I'd like to simply say, Dennis, you're an idiot. You're an absolute moron. Your ego is going to be your own undoing in the end. You could have used this platform that you were given fighting Logan Paul to have people rally to your side and make you into a bit of, like, I don't know, a folk hero icon because so many people dislike him. But you squandered that opportunity, just like you squandered this opportunity on the fight. It comes across as incredibly cowardly, and I don't think that literally anyone but 10-year-olds are going to think this is cool, the fact that you're attacking another man's wife who had nothing to do with this entire situation. Or fiance or whatever. It's sad, it makes you look sad, and yes, I am only saying this because I am behind a camera. I am 110% positive that you or Logan would beat my ass into the ground. Not before I'd suck on your fingers and weird you out. My physical scars will heal. Your mental scars from that happening to you will never go away. Just like you shouldn't go away now. Seeing as you've already watched the video, you should subscribe to Dino. And I'll see you later, guys. Bye bye.